Riot
Mahogany
turns
takes it.
to Dinkflink and says, "Have you got a map? You know where to go?"
And she does not. She's never been to this. Is her first time to Pandemonium. She's never made this trek before. Middlebob hollers through the rubble. You hear his voice faintly over the winds, and he shouts, "Do you remember the directions I gave you?"
"I've got them."
Well, stick to those. Hope for the best.
See you in Sigil, hopefully.
I'm going to turn towards Riot, and I'm going to say, were those the directions that were just travel forward 3 spikes?
That's after we reach the harmonica. And Riot says, "Everyone shut up. I'm going to try and listen for the sound."
So you try to listen for the sound?
For the music that Middlebob mentioned.
Roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, that's
The wind's just overwhelming.
considering. Nah.
Were you using a earplugs?
I was not.
You were not. Okay. So bear with me just 1 second while I get my maps up here in Photoshop. Which, yes, I agree, I should have opened them hours ago, but I didn't. That already didn't happen.
Things that are probably considered bad ideas. Listening real hard to the winds of Pandemonium.
But the reason we might have to use the blindfold feature is because I didn't mark really well where these black tiles are going to be. So we might
What black
be
tiles? Oh, these.
on the map when I load it up.
So should we put on the blindfold?
No, you're fine for now. But when I say blindfold, everybody just do it, and then...
Get fucked.
Alright. So the cave-in is over here. You only have one direction to walk. You all were cut off from the fork.
Right.
Dinkflink does not like this state of affairs at all. But she's seen how you all operate. She's seen how you work under pressure. She knows that you can hold your own in a fight if it comes to that. So she doesn't seem too worried to be traveling with you.
Oh, good. Escort mission.
And we're doing real good right now because we only have one direction to go in, and that's where we operate our best.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right suggests that Dinkflink stay in the middle.
I'm not
Of
going
the-
to
of
be
the
able
group.
to... I have to stay near the middle, too, because I don't have any light.
El Ciclon stands behind Serenity.
So
I'm
who's
going to
taking point?
hand Serenity my lantern that Kelian handed me.
Okay.
Okay.
And the
Serenity
reason
will
I'm
be on
doing
the
that
front
is
then.
because I can turn into a spider if I need to.
Serenity will be in the front if she has a light source then.
Okay, I was gonna say Keelan can be in front because he's got dark vision.
Now,
It works,
Okay.
too. How beaten up is everyone? Serenity's
Pretty
actually
fucking
I'm
beat up.
reasonably well beaten up,
I'm
but
fine.
again, I can turn into a spider if I need to.
El Ciclon's at 2 hit points.
let me get Dinkflink out here.
I'm
You could
almost
eat one of
wondering
those
if we should
blueberries.
take a rest here.
A short
Like, we've got our
rest-
back to a wall.
A
This
short
is
rest,
possibly...
maybe. A long rest's not likely.
Well, yeah, I meant a short rest, because this, like, we've got our back to a wall, and we're at the end of a tunnel. This is possibly the safest we're going to be anytime soon. So if we need to recover from that rock fall, now might be the time.
Yeah,
That's true, and we
seems
just came
reasonable.
in this direction, and
Right, there was nothing back behind us, so...
right.
Yeah.
You all wanted Dinkflink in the middle of the group?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're in Pandemonium, and these tunnels are going to vary between about 10 and 12 feet wide. So, what we're going to do is if you're standing on what we're looking at as the floor, you're fine like this. But if you want to be on a wall or on the ceiling, just kind of rotate your piece and declare yourself as such. Because you can move all along the ceiling. So, like,
Right.
for example, the 5-foot square where Serenity is standing there represents that 5 feet on the ground, but she's got 5 feet overhead. The intention is that standing on your square, you're within 5 feet of everywhere around you on the ground and everywhere around you overhead. So, if somebody is on the floor under Serenity here and moves away from her, she would get the opportunity attack.
Okay.
I'm going to take 90 seconds and hit the bathroom and refill my water.
I'll do the same.
And we can also
That sounds
stack.
like a good idea.
And then it's dungeon time.
If we need to make a wall, we'll need to stack on top of each other.
Hello, chat. How are you doing today?
Yeah, me and Riot have some spell slots that we could use for healing, but it's not really tenable on Pam.
Yeah.
I needed that 90 seconds to go put some socks on because my feet were freezing.
Yeah, my feet not doing too good, but it's supposedly supposed to snow real bad tomorrow, and we might get the day off from school, and that would be pretty rad.
That would be pretty rad. Long weekend.
Yeah, well, actually, longer weekend because we got Friday off.
For what?
Snow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been a little raw here.
All right, who's ready to hit this shizzle?
My
Sure,
feet
let's
are
do
not
it.
protected against the winds of pandemonium.
Back.
I apologize for saying shizzle.
Yeah, we're supposed to get like 7 inches, which isn't a lot, but when you're a university that has people coming in from outside of the state.
I'm very proud that none of us made a joke about Nodal getting 7 inches. Real good, guys. I think we're
Shadow
growing.
Phoenix, this is a kind of... Our DM has kind of adapted a lot of older material for 5e, but this is kind of his own interpretation of Planescape for this edition.
Yep.
So I just want to say, at first everyone complained a lot about it, but I really like that at this point, like, you could argue that it's just like, oh, it's just not coming up that often. But I'm really enjoying that everyone's just accepted that Mahogany is naked at this point. Like, it's just, they've come to terms. Like, they passed through all 4 stages.
Yeah.
Should we have had a separate madness chart for seeing Mahogany naked?
Make a Constitution save.
I can't wait to run Apocalypse World with my other group because I know somebody's going to take that naked AC perk.
Yeah. Did you see he's been putting out preview material for backer updates, and one of the things that's changed noticeably in 2nd edition is there's a lot more combat rules.
Yeah.
There's a lot more moves you can make in combat.
I figured they would have to make a change like that because it did feel kind of anemic when it came to combat. And I guess like I can respect the original intent of wanting a much more roleplay focused game, but just knowing how groups act with these games.
Yeah.
Like even White
Yeah,
Wolf has to have really in-depth combat rules.
The original combat rule was like, your guys all go up against each other and just like stuff happens and you get hurt according to these specific rules, and that's the combat.
Mm-hmm.
My combat that I remember doing in that game was my character would do something fucking dumb, and combat was me trying to recover from the ridiculously poor decisions I was making at all times.
I think the most hostile scene my character was involved in was having sex with McDohl's character.
At one point, I almost killed a man because I didn't quite understand how wounds worked.
That was Brickard's first action of the session.
I did that constantly, yes.
Like, I did 2 damage to someone, and I was like, well, that's like nothing. And he's like, no, he's dead. And I was like, oh, what?
That was the first thing. Brickwood was like, I'm gonna take my door by force because I don't want this guy in the way. And I'm like, all right, cool, we'll roll. And Brickwood was like, yeah, I hit him. But he's dead.
I regret nothing. Do we have Destil back yet? Or are we still waiting on Destil?
I think we're still waiting on Destil.
Okay. But yeah, you see what I mean about the black squares on the map. Like,
Yeah.
if I accidentally remove one of the black squares.
We can just blindfold before you remove black squares. Like, it takes like half a second to turn it on and turn it off.
That's the idea.
Okay.
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 And you can see when we all have blindfolds on, so yeah.
Yeah.
So where did we land? Did we land on,
You should be on top of
I
the
thought they
number
removed
one
being
there.
able to see blindfold messages.
Apparently not.
That's what blindfold looks like for everybody in the chat who hasn't seen it yet. That's what it does.
Okay, I'm back.
Did we
Okay.
did we land on short rest?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So go ahead and spend the hit dice if you want. Over the course of
Oh.
the short rests, the winds subside slightly. Down to...
How badly hurt is the gnome?
She's not injured.
Okay.
So now it's very windy
Nice.
instead of a gale force.
Man, I wish you were rolling those dice for the wins, McDohl.
Your immediate thought is that maybe the cave-in had some sort of effect on the flow of the winds and cut off the bulk of them momentarily from that area of the caves. So now you're getting a different source of winds, which lowered them for you slightly. What you're looking at on the map here, in this area, this symbol here is showing where the cave branches off. So moving forward from the cave-in after you take an hour-long rests, it's not far before at the edge of your light you see the cave branch off in two directions. From Mahogany and Kelian's point of view, it looks like the cave branches off to the left, and then there's another one that branches off downwards.
This is just like the Infinite Staircase all over again, where it's just like the map is completely boned.
Yeah.
This is just Planescape? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
God, Planescape is so good.
What's the plan?
Alright. Serenity?
Yeah. I guess I'll take point.
Now, you're already
I
at
have a
point.
light again.
You're already there.
Move forward.
Move forward. Okay. And the passage curves around forward a little bit. Now, standing there, Serenity, what's your passive perception?
Pretty crappy.
Pretty crappy.
I'm right behind her, though, and mine's pretty good.
Let's just look at what's Mahogany's. What's yours?
15.
15. That's pretty good.
Serenity is on the ceiling, too.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I can be
ceiling
underneath
ceiling
Serenity.
according to Kelian.
Right.
Because it
As far
looks
as
like
she's
Kelian...
concerned, you're all on the ceiling.
on the ceiling, yeah.
Standing here, if you have a passive perception of 12 or higher,
I might, actually.
standing right there,
No.
the walls in Pandemonium are kind of honeycombed with tiny pinhole pores through which wind can issue and sound, carrying wind and sound from far off reaches of the plane. Standing where you're standing, many of you can hear very, very faintly the sound of music. Wind blowing through a very like kind of ominous instrument. Very large. They're very deep bass tones. And it's a
Mahogany
sustained note that just goes on for a long time.
Is this our lost wits tension?
And he says, everyone, I think I hear the harmonica. And then I'll look around to see if anyone else can hear it.
Kelian
Thinkflick
nods.
certainly does.
So let's get moving.
Okay.
Moving forward.
On we go.
And that's what you
So
see
you on the
forward.
ceiling just to be an asshole, or
Well, we should spread out.
Alright, back up.
So then you walk into what the tunnel kind of gives way to a large, not large, but decent sized kind of cavern where 4 different passages join together at various angles, kind of forming the points of a pyramid. So no matter where you stand, it seems like there are 3 passages leading downward and away from each other, and then one going in the quote-unquote ceiling leading away from all of them, no matter how you're oriented in this place.
Is that what that up arrow is?
Yep, that one's going
Okay.
upwards.
Gotcha.
Kelian points at that one.
Okay.
he goes, well, and Mahogany
Yeah.
goes, well, it would be interesting.
Okay.
It's as good as any other
That way.
direction.
Going up.
Yep.
Sorry. Let's pull that out of your hand. I'm sorry, Nick.
That's not fine.
So where do we need to move ourselves?
I'm going to load a new map here.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus, why?
This is fun. This is fun.
This is not fun. I don't like this.
Alright.
I'm really not liking this.
Everybody hit your blindfolds for a second while I find the correct square here to unlock.
You got it.
Somewhere around here, I believe.
If we spend enough time in Pandemonium, I might find another druid and be up the level.
Alright, you guys can take a look here. So, most of you are looking at this hole in the ceiling, and like your instinct is, oh, we're going to climb up into that hole. Serenity was just standing next to it, and your instinct is, oh, I'm going to jump down into that hole. But for all of you, it just seems like the cave floor under you twists and turns and orients itself, so you walk into it like a hallway. And so you come out, the passage continues to lead forward in that sort of direction.
What's this blue here? Are we in water?
No, it's just for my own edification.
We're on the blue map.
Yeah, you're on the blue map now. It looks exactly the same as the other map to you. It's just this is how I'm keeping it straight.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure we weren't in the fucking
River Styx.
I would let you
yeah,
know
the
if
river
you were.
Styx.
I mean, you wouldn't remember after he lets you know, but
That's the one thing you remember. That's how in the plains you can tell if someone's been in the river Styx, because they have a deep and abiding fear of water.
I'm revealing the map based on Serenity because we said Serenity was taking point.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
Fair
fine. I'm probably right underneath Serenity. It's just that it's hard to put our tiles right on top of each other.
That's fine.
Well, alright, if you're... I thought I would be right underneath the Serenity, so if that's the case, then...
You're going on the ceiling?
Yeah.
And you come to another fork in the road. Not a fork in the road. It's this kind of weird-looking alcove.
Like a switchback.
Yeah, like a switchback.
yeah.
Oh, let's check out the weird alcove.
Okay. I'll just stand guard here if you guys are interested in the weird alcove.
Listen,
Walker.
I've been in a dungeon or two in my time, and why are you even an adventurer if you're not checking out the weird alcove?
So what do you do to check out the weird alcove?
Oh, no, nothing much. I just want to poke my head in.
Looks like a cave. Looks like every other cave wall in Pandemonium. It's just a dead end. It's the elbow of Pandemonium.
Alright, not that exciting then. Let's keep going.
Okay, stop there.
Here?
Yeah, nobody can advance beyond Serenity at this point.
If this is going to be a combat situation, I'll make it more clear that I'm on the same tile.
Yeah, Dinkflink can't be... Well, I guess she could. If we assume Ciclon's walking on the wall there. What magical effects are running at the moment? Who has any sort of
Nothing.
magic going?
I don't think anybody has anything.
Yeah, nothing here.
Okay. Then you've come to a fork in the road.
Eldov is not in this party.
No, it's true.
I'm just going to continue going this way.
I'm going to activate my my psychic focus.
Psychic focus? Okay. You can do that as a bonus action now, right? Because they revised those rules?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I think that's the first time you've remembered to do it before an encounter, and I'm proud of you.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore because they revised the rules, so now he can do it as a bonus action on his first turn of the encounter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's no
Oh,
longer.
yeah,
a
they
standard action.
released Mystic rules up to level 10 now in Unearthed Arcana.
That's cool.
We're continuing down this way? Or down this way?
The way, yeah, this way.
Feel free to keep groping me. That's working out fine.
Come to a dead end, but there's something up with the wall here. Too dim to make out from that distance. But there's something strange about the stone of the wall of this dead end.
Let's check it out. Maybe poke it with a stick. Serenity, you know stone, right?
Yeah. I'll just kind of run my hands over the stone. Does it feel anything specific about it?
It would be these squares down here.
Oh, okay.
The far part of the dead end. Getting that close, running your hand over it, there's words carved into the wall. In common. They give directions away from Limbo. The directions say turn around, close your eyes, walk away, embrace the cries, forget I'm here, it's only lies.
Is that a thing that you can copy paste, or can you say that one more time?
I can copy paste it into the Twitch chat.
That works just great.
Do it.
Here you go, Twitch chat. Turn around, close your eyes, walk away, embrace the cries, forget I'm here, it's only lies.
Right, so it's catchy.
You gonna set it to a beat?
Sure.
It didn't parse correctly when I pasted it into Twitch chat, but, you know.
It's just a perma shave.
Alright, so what's next?
Let's go.
You gotta go back, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we can answer every single question when there's two ciphers leaving the party with. All right, let's keep going.
Yep.
The only problem is this Mahogany has the focus of like a gnat, so he's just like, "Ooh, let's check that out." What's going on over there?
Ooh, more carvings. That's what you can see from this point, Serenity. It turns this corner and disappears.
Oh, okay. Just keep going. See if I can see anything around that corner.
Turns another sharp corner.
I'm gonna run
God.
my hands. I got you. I got you.
You're gonna run your hands where?
I'm gonna run my hands along the wall as we're walking, just to make sure I don't miss any writing.
You would see any writing. The tunnels are
It's
so
not-
so narrow right now that a lantern illuminates all around you.
How
All
are the
right, so
winds?
after a couple seconds, I feel foolish and I stop doing it.
But running your hands along the walls, you can feel the thousands of invisible pores in the stone, many of which are issuing bursts of air, kind of like holding your hand like half an inch above an air hockey table.
Mahogany puts his hand back on the wall.
Pretty good. And you continue on down the drain here.
Actually, yeah, I guess I was already feeling the walls with a part of my body because my bare feet are touching the floor.
Yeah. Now,
I feel like floor should be an air quotes.
approaching this area, you see the second feature, because you read the strange poem on the wall. But here, there's actually a construction. Set into the floor. It looks like part of the floor was carved away, and planks of wood have been laid out. Making a sort of wooden walkway that just kind of starts abruptly right about where Serenity is, and travels around the tunnel like a spiral. And it travels just outside your field of vision. It looks like from where you're at, Mahogany, it starts where your feet are, go up to the right along the wall, up over your head, and just about the field of vision from your lantern, you see it coming back down the other side of the tunnel floor. Just this wooden spiral set down.
I think we should just stay on the wooden path, then.
Riot suggests, hey, why don't we pry up one of these boards? That can be the... Didn't Mahogany say he wants some wood later in case we need the flute?
Sounds like a good idea.
That's a good idea, and I'd like some for my own purposes anyway.
Okay. Each of these planks is relatively large and heavy. It's not that you couldn't carry them, it's that they would be unwieldy to carry. There's no easy way to put them in your pack. So, one of these planks would be more than enough to, of course, make any kind of wood instrument out of. How much wood do you want to take with you, Mahogany? We're talking about maybe 5 feet long, and you're not sure how deep they're set into the floor.
Oh, let's just take a couple.
Take a couple?
And I'll carve them in half so that everyone can carry one.
Okay. Are you volunteering Dinkflink to carry one of these?
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you setting about this work? What tools do you have on your person that you're using to pry these up with?
Alright, so I have some carpentry tools, so I'm assuming that in that is included something to pry nails out with.
Okay. You obviously don't have a full complement of a carpentry set here. You have like a travel version. Hammer, maybe a little dowel, a saw, handful of nails, that sort of thing. So Mahogany sits down, and the wood doesn't look to be secured to the floor in any way. It's just going to be a matter of getting the leverage and getting one up out of there. But after getting the first one out, getting the remaining ones would be a little easier. But it's going to take some doing. It's going to take you a little while to sit here and get this up and get them all sawed down.
Alright. I think it's a good idea if everyone else is willing to wait.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
Everybody roll me a perception check except Mahogany. Mahogany, you get to roll dick and balls.
Well, I mean, I'm already rolling dick and balls.
Wow.
I just want to know who gets the highest.
Serenity got a 13.
I got better.
17.
16.
20 loot.
20 does it? El Ciclon.
Yo.
While Mahogany and Dinkflink is starting to work as well, getting this wood pried up, sawed down, you feel something compels you to look back at the tunnel you all came through, and you see a familiar figure leaning against the stone wall up here, watching your group, and you're the only one who spotted him so far, but it's your good friend, Aunt Nancy. Leaning against the wall in the Cave of Pandemonium, hand in his chin, stroking his mutton chops.
What an asshole.
And he locks eyes with you.
Look back at him.
And he gives you a polite nod.
Look to the others. We have company.
What? And Riot draws a rapier.
Point back toward Aunt Nancy.
And when you point back, he's walking away. You see him disappear down that tunnel. So by the time Riot draws her rapier and turns around, there's nobody standing there.
Kelian, are you feeling okay?
Who's Kelian? I'm not Kelian.
Wait, what was the clone got the pass?
Yeah,
It's a
are you
conspiracy
feeling
theory.
okay?
You're actually Kelian. That's the conspiracy.
Are you really sure you're feeling okay? Because
Sorry, I
Oh,
forgot.
Ciclon, is this like when you were saying that the winds were actually an enormous bellows being blown by slaveholders to keep everyone in Pandemonium down?
Look, I'm telling you, that it's gotta be it. There's no other explanation for it.
Not
Look,
even
I'm going-
Nancy would be
and
crazy
I'm
enough to
going-
come here.
Like, I'm feeling like Rush Limbaugh right here, leaning into my microphone talking about this shit, but yeah.
Riot, what's your passive perception?
It's 14.
14. When you say the name Aunt Nancy out loud, for a moment, you see Dinkflink's eyes snap up and look at you, but then immediately turn back down to her work.
No, but no. But once Mahogany starts up with that, it would be El Ciclon would just be going, okay, now hear me out. This is gonna sound crazy, but he goes into this just massive tirade about how it's all gonna be a plot. But of course, he's holding his cards to his chest about his theory about Serenity because he doesn't want to tip her off because she's in on it too.
Of course she is. So what's next?
How are we doing with these plagues?
They're very stubborn. You're confident you can get them out, but they're not going to come out easily.
Are we talking like hours?
No, 15,
or...
20 minutes
All right, yeah.
of working.
I'll keep working. But
So what you're doing is you're kind of working a chisel down in between and trying to make space all along the length of this board so you can try to wedge it free. You're working from one end and Dinkflink's working from the other.
Alright.
But I mean there's a lot of moisture in the air in Pandemonium, and the wood might be partially rotted. It's definitely expanded to fill this space a little bit, so it's going to take a little while. Is everybody just waiting it out?
Yeah.
And what's next? After Mahogany and Dinkflink manage to get this first plank out, they kind of pull it out, and you kind of hear this suckling sound. This moist wood comes loose, and there's this just fetid, mushy water in the bottom of it. But from there, getting the next couple planks out is easy. You just get the leverage up underneath and pop them out, and then you saw them down.
Let's follow the staircase.
Yeah.
Or what remains of it, anyway.
Is everybody being careful to follow this wooden pathway around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can someone move my tile? Because I'm out of the room for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, Serenity is until she trips over one of the planks and falls into the ground.
And breaks a tooth. And it just continues on forward. So Riot is carrying Dinkflink at this point?
It's just an artifact of how this is happening.
Listen, it just happened,
It
okay?
just happened. What do you want from me? And you reach another semi-interesting dead end.
I love semi-interesting dead ends.
Are they your favorite?
No, second favorite.
There's more carving in the dead end in the far end of the wall. Again, chiseled into the wall in stone. In common. And it's labeled Directions to Limbo. Limbo isn't real. You've been misled. The Earthbergs of Isgard are formed of Pandemonium stone, and the tunnels of Pandemonium are formed of Isgardian ejections. The violent place in between has come to be known as Limbo, but is really neither here nor there. Ah, but if Limbo were real, surely it would be heaven. Those are the directions to Limbo.
Rat.
Red says, what do you think? Should we try going to Limbo? I mean, at least
And
we wouldn't be in
Mahogany says-
Pandemonium anymore.
Mahogany says, I don't know. And he's going to turn towards El Ciclon. What do you think?
I have no idea anything about Limbo. Like, I don't remember much about it.
Well, we have directions here, and I guess we don't have directions home from there, so maybe not the best idea.
Yeah.
I heard.
Right, unlike the ciphers, is allowed to change your mind.
I heard that if you were the right kind of person in Limbo, and he looks at Ciclon, you could just make a boat and then sail us home to Sigil. That's what I heard the last time I was in the bar.
Well, I'm not the right kind of person.
And he'll pat Ciclon on the shoulder. He says, "Don't worry, it'll come to you."
Don't touch me.
So back through the back to
Yeah.
the main cavern again, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we can backtrack all the way out.
Should I just can we backtrack, or do you want me to stop there anywhere, Brick?
As you guys are walking back, Kelian, you feel something brush against your shoulder. And when you look over that direction, you see Aunt Nancy walking alongside you. Right next to you. He reaches over, puts his arm over your shoulder, and says, "I wasn't expecting any of the teams to mix this early in the game. Where did you all find this gnome?" None of the rest of you see or hear any of this. Just Kelian.
Even though I'm right... Yeah, so I'm right behind Kelian, but I don't see this.
You do not see this. You see Kelian kind of regarding the space next to him for a moment. But it's pandemonium. Everybody's on edge.
Yeah.
What? What? What?
Who are you talking to?
And Aunt Nancy says, "Well, regardless of how it happened, it'd be real easy to knock their team out of the game, wouldn't it?" And he pats you on the back, turns, begins walking down the cave.
Kelian points vigorously at what appears to be nothing.
Riot appears at the stone, looking for words there.
You all still have chalkboards, don't forget.
Yeah, Kelian will bust out the chalkboard and write Aunt Nancy in capital letters.
How many exclamation points do you use? 5?
All.
5.
Okay. He kind of gets
Okay,
a little bit sweeted with his exclamation points.
I'll look
And
back
then
at
7
Kelian and
periods.
say, "Really?" Yeah, I saw him too. What?
Riot
about?
Riot says he was not here. Kelian is seeing things.
No,
I was right
saw-
behind
I-
him. I was right behind him the entire time.
I saw him standing
not
like
here.
right where I'm standing right now. I saw him standing where we are right now.
I
a
was
few minutes
looking
ago.
right at you.
Well,
How
they-
many-
I was looking right
But
at
how
you.
many Ifrits have you seen at the edge of the wind since we got here?
16. But believe me, that's an important number.
He
Don't
starts
get me
pointing
started.
at Dinkflink.
Look at Dinkflink.
How does she react?
Is she Aunt Nancy?
Holds up her hands and says, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't have any nieces or nephews."
I'm gonna roll an inside check on that.
Okay.
Oh, that's not 20.
You noticed earlier when she looked up from her work, there's definitely recognition, but you're pretty sure she's not lying about having nieces or nephews.
Okay.
So what's next?
I'm gonna keep a closer eye on Dinkflink as we walk along.
Okay.
Well, now that we're finding things in the ends of tunnels, we should probably just make a closer look at this.
Okay. And you go up there, but it's just smooth stone. There's nothing
Okay,
carved in.
so we didn't miss anything. That's fine.
Okay. Sounds legit.
Yeah, unless we find anything
Okay.
before the end of this tunnel.
Everybody group up so I can grab y'all's pieces. Oh, you know what? I got the previous map saved, so it shouldn't matter,
Yeah.
actually.
We should be exactly there. Oh yeah, blindfold.
Well, I'm just switching maps. You shouldn't need the blindfold here. I mean, you can use it if you want, if you just want to push the button.
Well,
I really like
it's sexy.
covering my
That's
eyes.
He likes
That's
pushing
fine.
buttons.
Like, I recognize that it's fun, is what I'm getting at.
why.
The curtains come down. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
So you
rad.
come back down into the pyramid chamber. And again, from your point of view, it looks like you're coming across a hallway, and you've got hallways going left or right, and then one going up above you.
Do you think we should go back and investigate this way?
I don't think it's ever a good idea to go back.
right, then.
Ciclon,
What?
roll a wisdom check, DC 10.
Yep.
Okay. So Ciclon is about to put the option on the table of going back to check that previous passage you passed. And for a moment you catch yourself, because for a moment you're not entirely sure which passage you used to get here. You're not sure you know which way is back. But then you're pretty sure, no, it's that way there, because for some paranoid reason you know which way you came from.
Yeah. I mean that's where the Ifrits were hiding, but we need to face this head on.
Okay, so where to?
Well, now that we're finding riddles inscribed in the walls, that seems pretty rad.
I don't like the idea of going backwards. I'd rather go forward.
Normally, I'm with you. It's just, if we're going to be adventurers, we should be the best adventurers we can be.
I don't even want to have this adventure.
Dinkflink chimes up and says, I agree with Riot. Let's see if we can't get out of here as soon as possible. We know we're on the right track. We've heard the harmonica.
Mahogany's willing to let himself be led by the wills of the group.
Can you tell which of the two tunnels the harmonica is stronger down, Riot? I think you have the best hearing.
You can't
Alright.
hear from where you're standing right now.
Right.
Standing
well,
at that
let's
junction,
see.
you can't hear it.
Okay.
Where did you last hear it?
Stepping back into this hallway, you can hear it.
See?
Uh.
What did I tell you? Ifrits are playing harmonicas. Boom. It all adds up. Go to
All right, fine.
Infowars.com and read it up, people.
We can go back if you will shut up. I'll see clone.
No, I gotta let Serenity go first. There we go. All right, now we're good.
So we're going to take this tunnel here?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Being very careful not... Everybody move your hands. You're over my save box there. I don't want to accidentally save over the wrong map. That would be a disaster.
Yep.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
Sorry, I was blindfolded.
I got a blindfold.
Yeah, no, I'm blindfolded. I don't know.
Alright, yeah, everybody blindfold.
Oh, okay. Blindfolded.
I don't think it'll be difficult for me to find this spot, but... it's somewhere around here. Oh, I found it.
Remove blindfold.
Yeah.
Hey,
Now-
here we are.
You all come down... Well, down. It's not down when you're walking down it, but... You walk down this tunnel, and...
Towards the enemy gate.
After about 5 or 15 feet or so, the sound of the harmonica fades away, and you no longer hear it. Entering this tunnel.
See, they're sneaking now. They realize that we're onto them. That's why the Ifrits stopped playing the harmonica.
See, I told you this was a bad idea. We should go back.
In for a penny,
I
in
thought
for
you
a
didn't
pound,
want to
I
go
say.
back.
I didn't.
Well,
we
let's
should
So
go
you
forward
just said
now.
we should go back.
To where we were going forward. Obviously.
So, Kelian, did Aunt Nancy tell you anything about the Ifrits?
Right.
Kelian gives you a flat look.
As you're walking along in the back of the group here, you've got watching Dinkflink ahead of you. You feel a poking on the top of your head.
I look up.
And you look up, and it's Aunt Nancy poking you with his finger. He's
What the?
reaching up and poking you with his finger. And when he has your attention, he says, "Seems like a shame for those gnomes to walk off with all that fabulous wealth and treasure. Think of all the good you could do. Think of what a blow to capitalism it would be." Then he shrugs and he walks back down the way you all came. None of the rest of you saw or heard that.
Wait a minute. Something just occurred to me. Hold on. Ciclon just stops for a minute, and he looks like he's very carefully considering something as he's putting stuff together.
Mahogany keeps walking forward.
He keeps walking, yes, but he still looks like he's thinking intently.
Is anybody else a little bit disappointed that he hasn't used the word sheeple yet?
Even I have standards. Come on.
Well, sheeple are a thing in Planescape.
Yeah.
Like on some plane or other, there's a race of sheeple, right?
Yeah, and that's just racist.
And they're just not involved in this. Yeah, that's ludicrous to think.
Yeah, that's racist, man. Burkroad, what the hell?
Sorry. All right, I'm gonna get Photoshop back on top.
I think I had one of those in my party. Fire him.
The tunnel keeps going.
I got it. What if Aunt Nancy is working with Ifrits? That makes sense.
But then you're working for Aunt Nancy, Riot points out.
No. That can't be right. Wait. Damn it.
Riot, please hold out on causing our party members to go insane until we leave.
Are you going to deprive me of the only source of enjoyment I have on this entire blasted plane?
You're right. Carry on.
It just
I don't know
continues
what
around
what
this
you're-
horseshoe bend here.
I don't know what you're talking about. This mess is just going to lead us all into chains one day, like very soon. I can feel it, like right in my bones. But we really have no other option, so we just got to keep going.
And you come to another dead end. And this one, again, has writing carved into the far wall.
Aha! See, I told you!
But it's not letters. It's not words. It's a series of arrows pointing in particular ways. But the weird thing is when you look at the arrow and turn away, they seem to shift directions. But it's labeled, again, directions to Limbo.
Well, there's no way I can write this down. Sorry.
Is it saying that Limbo is in every direction?
When you focus on it, it says directions to Limbo, and the glyphs and arrows seem to indicate a particular direction. But when you trace your eyes along the rows of symbols and look back, they seem to have shifted position. So either the arrows are moving, the arrows and symbols are moving, or you're hallucinating.
Either way, this was a bad idea, and we need to go forward.
Alright, well, let's just keep it in mind for now. Just in case this turns out to be our only way out.
I agree.
Okay.
See, there weren't Ifrits down here. I told you guys, there weren't Ifrits down here.
Yeah, other things, though. Pride
Mahogany
mutters.
puts his earplugs back in.
Alright, we'll save this
The
map
winds, they're
again here.
getting to me.
Blindfold.
No, you don't need one here. You're just
Yeah,
coming.
I gotta open my eyes, sheeple.
You're just... And from here, the directions are easy to parse, because there's a tunnel you came through, the tunnel you can look down and hear the harmonica from, and then the tunnel back just goes back to the cave-in.
Alright. So we've already been, I guess, up that way. So
We'll just kind of randomly choose that way.
Alright then. This feels safer. I don't smell Ifrits down this way.
So you'll walk through the narrow part of the tunnel here where you can hear the harmonica, but you've narrowed it down to just this section. So where to now?
I say go right.
One way is as good as another. Let's just pick one.
Hold on one second. Ciclon like pulls out a piece of string, and he starts gauging the direction at which the wind is blowing.
Where you're at, the winds are... It's pretty windy, but it seems to change depending on which tunnel you're in. Every time you move to a different... every time the tunnel curves or every time it branches, the winds are shifting around you. So
right
the wind
now-
is kind of coming from every direction at once. It's coming from the walls and traveling through the tunnels.
But which way is the string flapping predominantly? To the left or to the right, or is it about even?
It's actually snapping back and forth between Mahogany and Kelian. Right now.
Mahogany and Kelian.
Those are really good directions.
Then clearly the Ifrits are in that direction. He points at Mahogany and Kelian, and then points off in the opposite direction. We should go that way.
So Serenity's starting down this tunnel, and Riot's starting down a different tunnel. Just so
No, right, wait, no. We need to go that way. The Ifrits are that way. Yes. That's right.
Wait, which way's right? I'm getting a little turned around.
This way. This is the right direction.
Do you hear the harmonica down there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And at that, Dinkflink turns around and says, "You can hear it? I can't hear it."
But you're not listening hard enough.
She's got a very good ear for music.
So does this mean Riot's taking point now?
No, she's going to let the others take point.
Okay. Because I'm still clearing based on Serenity. That's the last point man I heard was Serenity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. Oh,
What?
God. What happened?
Oh god,
There was
she's
a- there
headed
was
to
a
the
pile
third
up.
direction.
Nobody
The third
survived.
dimension.
And you come to yet another fork.
I'm going to look back towards Riot again.
Can I hear the... I'm going to go up to the fork this time, too.
Okay.
Can I hear the music?
No, you hear nothing. I mean, you hear winds.
Yeah.
The moaning
Right.
of winds.
Yeah, you always hear something. I'm just going to point this way.
Okay.
Ciclon's holding up a
Man, your
string
hearing's
again.
even better than mine.
All right. Serenity, put yourself on that first square here, and everybody else is behind
This
Serenity.
one?
This one here. That's the
Okay.
farthest you've made it so far.
Ciclon's holding up a string again.
Now, looking maybe 10 or 15 feet ahead of you, piles of bones cover the walls of this section of the tunnel, and they look like they've been placed deliberately. Some are broken, some are intact, some have been picked clean, some of them still have meat and muscle clinging to them. And between the piles of these bones, a lot of smaller loose bones, either broken bits of bones or maybe finger bones or whatever, fragments are kind of skittering around on the rock, the wind's knocking them back and forth. Because of the microgusts coming out of the walls themselves, it looks like only the heaviest bone piles stay in place for long. This is where Riot has told you to go.
Wait a minute, I got it all
takes
wrong.
his earplugs back out. It seems like a real good idea to be able to hear in this place.
Wait a minute, I got it all wrong. We're surrounded by rock. We're not surrounded by fire. What the hell am I thinking?
So, Earth Elementals are going to sell us into slavery then.
Yes.
Keep going.
Glad.
Keep going,
See,
Serenity.
I'm
Serenity, keep
glad
going.
you're finally picking up what I'm putting down.
I mean, don't they live in like a magma rock fire sort of area anyway?
Well, you'd be
Wait.
the person to know, Serenity.
Yeah. Wait. Ciclon just slaps Mahogany on the
Elsklo,
shoulder
do you
for
think
a second.
Serenity's in on it?
No. He does not sound convincing at all.
Are we stopped here, or are we doing the Sorkin walk and talk?
We're going to do the walk and talk.
Doing the walk and talk, okay.
Look, if I were in on it,
Kelian, it's the walk and stutter.
don't you think I'd know if I were in on it?
See,
And
but that's what the
Mahogany
Dow would want you to
immediately
think.
says, no, absolutely not.
That's what
from
the Dow...
Serenity's point of view, walking forward, the tunnels curve sharply downward. Everybody, and Kelian's point of view, so everybody else looks like it curves sharply upward.
Okay.
So go ahead and crowd around there. So when I save this map, and we have to come back to it inevitably because this is, of course, another dead end. What are you even doing with your life? Alright, blindfolds, people.
Blindfold.
It's curtains for me.
Is this the right
Well,
one?
this has been.
Yeah, this is the right one.
Rune Fox, it's the Ifrits. I'm telling you.
Alright, take your blindfolds off and then orient yourself in this tunnel where you'd like to be standing.
I feel like we're playing Super Mario Bros. 3.
Like around the symbol, though.
Ah.
You haven't traveled much farther than that yet. I've got module stuff to read.
Oh, this is a module?
No. But I make notes as though it were a module, so I know what to read and what not.
So we have read aloud text?
Do what?
Your mom's a module.
We hit the read aloud text?
Yes.
Nice. Why do we have another blue? Oh, it's because it's something else, okay.
It's fine.
Alright. Let's see some initiative, people.
That's the
fine.
read aloud text? That's like the worst read aloud text I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
no kidding.
Hey, I didn't work too hard on this module, okay? Listen, if you want to go back to the Goblin Tower, you know... So, we are going to be playing a little more loosey-goosey with the positioning than we normally do. Just because more than one person can stand on a square on this map, and you can be on the walls and such. But like I said, in general, any square that has coloration to it is a space you can stand. For example, this tile here, there's no floor to stand on, but you could absolutely be standing on that wall. So, and you could reach all 5 feet around it and above you and below you. So it's going to feel a little loosey-goosey, but the positioning should still basically make sense.
I have advantage on initiative checks now. Yay.
So presumably, like if our ranged party members need a line of sight or something, they could like spend some movement to walk around to the ceiling to avoid getting partial cover from their own party members.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay, so Riot, how's that initiative looking?
13.
And Kelian,
13.
13.
Popular number.
And Ciclon.
Ciclon is on 17.
Is that with the initiative bonus from your psychic focus?
Yeah, basically I get advantage on the check.
Okay. What about Serenity?
Serenity acts at 5.
5. You're allowed to roll better than that. I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, you're a cipher. What the hell?
That's with all the bonuses.
And the other guy.
14.
14.
Make sure you spell the other guy correctly. Nice job.
Good job.
As soon as you guys enter up into these tunnels, Ciclon, I mean, nobody's surprised. There's no surprise around here. But you hear some kind of gibbering speech. Some kind of... You're not familiar with the language. You can't actually see into the ends of these tunnels yet. The light doesn't stretch that far away. You have about 20 feet of light ahead of you in these tunnels from your lanterns. So you definitely know there's some large quantity of creatures on either side of this, and it sounds like at your approach, they're hollering something back and forth at each other over the winds. So right now, Ciclon, you have initiative. You're up. We also don't need to necessarily swap spaces if you want to inhabit somebody else's square here. You can walk on the wall next to them. And with I forgot to mention this, with an athletics check as an action, you can attempt to jump across the field of gravity and land on the ceiling above you. If you want to be really, really fancy about it.
All right.
Are you carrying a light, Ciclon?
I am.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20. See anybody? Putting the light this way.
You do. So, let me get a picture of this creature here. Yep, this is him. I'm going to post this in the Twitch chat. This is the creature you're seeing. This horrible-looking reptilian thing with sharp claws. The difference between that picture and the one you're looking at is the ones you're looking at, over their kind of reptilian, scaly armor, they have a layer of sharp porcupine barbs.
Oh, so they're worse. Great. Thanks.
The actual worst, yes.
Wait, Lizardmen. You put Lizardmen against the conspiracy theorist? And of course, it's the lizard people!
So LC Clone takes a few steps down the hallway and starts hollering about lizard people.
And just starts, and just barrels at him and dive kick.
Dive kick, okay.
Dive kick! Death from above!
Hold it.
That is a 15 to hit and a 9 to hit. No, a 8 to hit.
The 15's good, the 8 is not.
Uh, 3 damage.
So you dive kick this creature, and they look very hostile. Look like they're about to bear down on you. But being this close to them, the stench that fills your nostrils is nauseating. Mahogany.
Alright. Mahogany's gonna bear down on these creatures.
And when you say
He's
bear...
He's gonna kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog his way along the wall and up on top of the ceiling,
Now, when
so
you
that he can
say
strike down.
hedgehog,
No, he's bearing down on these creatures.
Mahogany rolls into a ball.
Yeah,
It spins up the wall.
and he's going to strike down on them from on top of them.
okay,
I'd like to be above this one, if at all possible.
just kind of nudge yourself into his square.
Yeah,
There you go.
and I'm going to make a bite and a claw on him.
Okay.
Oh, so you actually mean bear as in I get
Oh,
it.
you picking up what I'm putting down here?
Absolutely.
Brown Baron.
Is that the large one or the medium one?
It's the large one, the brown bear.
The large one. Okay, then I'm definitely going to rule that you're between them and you definitely count as cover no matter where you're standing, just because you're large.
That's
Pretty
fine.
huge.
I was going to go down the other one so that we didn't have that problem, but I don't have a light.
That's true. It's probably a good thing to go down this one.
Okay, so I'm going to hit with the first one since it's higher up.
Okay.
And that's... Like, I love how I always choose the first one to be the good one, even though that's my second attack is the actual good one. And that's going to hit for on 20.
That hits. Yeah, 20's good enough.
Like,
Very,
oh yeah, the left
very
one,
little
that'll
of
be the
20
first
won't
one.
hit.
And that's going to do 11 piercing damage.
Okay. And your mouth fills with this thing's flesh. And it's this just incredibly foul, slimy odor and flavor filling your mouth. And it's very disgusting. But the thing stops moving.
Alright, so I have advantage on wisdom checks that rely on smell. How bad do these lizards smell? Or, like, is it kind of neutral? Because, I mean, they're lizards.
You have advantage on perception checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was more making a joke.
Yeah, got it.
It's just, yeah.
Wasn't
worry
that good
about
of a
it.
joke. I mean,
They're troglodytes. They smell real bad.
3 out of 10. Kelian.
So all of these guys are behind cover now because
These two are. This one you could probably get if you walked over along this wall.